Medicine for a Book Hangover, our third episode. This book is, I'm going to name it 2 reviews and currently reading. First of all, I'm going to hit the reviews. My first book I read was Love in Midair by Kim Wright. Sadly, well, okay, let's start with why I'm reading it. I am doing the Unreadshelf project 2018 on Instagram with Unreadshelf and calsreads. And so I'm trying to get rid of all the books that I have on my Unread shelf. Right now I have about 60-ish. So I'm trying to get rid of as many as I can by the end of the year. So each month they try to have at least like a little challenge. Well, this month's challenge was pick one of your unread reads and pick it up, read it, or if you don't read it by the end of the month, unhaul it. So I picked this up because I've been wanting to read it. It's been on my TBR for, I don't know, a few years now. I actually started reading it at the end of February, but I did not finish it in time for February, so I finished it this month. I enjoyed it. It was a good read. I was able to pick it up easily. I didn't moan and groan about picking it up, but it was easy to just sit down, just done and over with. I didn't want to be like, oh, I want to stay up all night and finish reading this. I felt like the characters were superficial, that they, well, first of all, the main character is a stay-at-home mom in the suburbs. Her husband's a dentist. They're pretty well off. And all her friends in the area are pretty well off also. They were together. They've been married for 9 years, and they celebrate their 10th anniversary. In the book. But she's not happy with her marriage, and which sometimes can be a good premise, especially for a romance novel like this. But I didn't click with any of them. I am a stay-at-home mom, and I've been married myself for almost 8 years. So you'd think I'd click and understand their struggles with being married and being a stay-at-home mom, but it was hard to. All they did was whine and groan how their husbands never listened to them, that they really were only staying with them because it was easier. It was, they could stay home with their kids. They didn't have to work if they didn't want to. All that stuff. But I was like, there were so many of them that weren't happy with their marriages that it was like, okay, can we have a little bit of, someone in the story that's happy with their marriage to have a little bit more of a different perspective or something, I don't know. But she ends up, the main character, what is her name again? Elsie, meets a man on an airplane and starts having an affair with him. And then decides that I think before she has the affair, she's not happy with her marriage. But she starts kind of, putting money in a separate account. They try therapy, but she could care less. So that is basically what's going on there. I rated it a 3-star. Like I said, it was easy to put down, it was easy to pick up, it was just a good story, but not something I'm going to keep. It's going in my haul bag, and soon I will be donating it with the others. So my second book, I'm sad to say that March has been a fail with books for me so far. Well, not a fail necessarily, but they're not 5-star reads that I'm happy with. The second book I read was Confessions of a Domestic Failure by Bunmi Laditan. The author is a blogger. She was the creator of The Honest Toddler, and this was her debut fiction novel. All the moms I know thought it was hilarious. That it gave a good insight of being a stay-at-home mom, a first-time mom, all that. But by middle of the book, I didn't think it was that funny. Parts of it was funny, and I could relate to it, but a lot of it was more annoying to me. The main character, Ashley Keller, like the book says, she was a new mom and a hot mess, and she was a hot mess. So that promise of the book was true, but she was too much of a hot mess to be believable to me. I found she was so whiny, woe is me about everything in her life. She had piles upon piles upon piles of laundry that she couldn't possibly fold and put away, that she was just gonna hide it and just live out of her baskets, and which is fine. When I was in college and when I was younger, I did that too. But as a mom and as a grown adult, put the clothes away. I hated that she was whiny, that she couldn't possibly do that. She couldn't keep her house clean. She was always holding the baby on her hip, and I'm like, get her a carrier and your life would be 10 times easier. But I guess that's just me, because I baby wore. Also, the other character, who was it? She joins a motherhood better boot camp ran by a mommy blogger named, what is it? I think it's Emily. And they have different challenges each week and all that. And Emily was the how would you say it? Typical mommy blogger that you think has the perfect life, and nothing could possibly go wrong with her life. She has time to cook these amazing meals, keep her house clean and decorated, that the kids could do no wrong, that they were always so well behaved, and it was downright annoying that these mothers worshipped her even after seeing, that she wasn't as perfect as she really was. They worshipped her like, she was so perfect, and that was just kind of annoying to me. I'm like, how do you just worship this woman that doesn't have her stuff together? So I also rated this a 3-star. Again, it was a book that was meh. I could pick it up, I could read a couple chapters, put it down. I didn't feel rushed to read it. Well, other than it is a library book, so I kind of felt a little more rushed to read it. But really, I it's not a book that I'd read again. It was a good, funny, quick read, but not something that I'm in love with. So, I'm hoping that the next book I'm going to talk about will be better. This is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This is another unread shelf read for me, which I will give information about that in the description below if you want any more information about that project. But this is another one of them. I was looking in my shelf for something green or something St. Patty's Day or Irish related for St. Patrick's Day, because that's this month. And the only book that I could find was this book that was green. So that is part of the reason why I'm reading it. Part of it is I have not ever read it. I didn't have to read it in high school like others did. I think the year that they read it, I was in honors English, and we had to read different books. So I thought it would be a fast read. It's only 208 pages or so. No, that's a note. It's 202 pages. So I will get this done super fast, and then I'll move on to another book. But which I haven't decided yet if I'm going to read The Cruel Prince or not. So this is another unread shelf read. I'll figure out if I really like it, and I will keep it on my shelf of read. My book's read. Back here I have a little shelf that has all my read books on it. So that is it for this. I don't know if anybody else has read this. But if you want to talk about it or talk about either of the other reads that I've read, just feel free to comment below, email me, whatever you want to do. I'd love to talk more about books or anything bookish. So that is about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys all to watch.